Welcome to the Care for Kupuna podcast, where we dive into health, wellness, and vibrant living of our cherished kupunas. We are thrilled to take you on a journey exploring everything from health and wellness tips, deeply rooted in the spirit of Hawaii, to navigating the intricacies of retirement, preserving our rich culture heritage, and fostering vibrant communities for our elders.
Whether you're a kupuna yourself, a family member, a dedicated caregiver, or simply someone passionate about supporting and uplifting our elders, this podcast is for you. Each episode is crafted with love and the intention to inspire, inform, and celebrate the golden years. So sit back, relax, and join us on this meaningful journey as we care for our kupuna.
Aloha listeners, welcome to another episode on Care for Kupuna podcast, where we care for our kupuna. I'm Lani.
And I'm Trina.
And we are your Kupuna Care Girls. And today we have a special guest who will talk about the value of our caregivers and how it's important to know that you are not alone. You have resources out there. And today we are fortunate to have Savy on our show to talk about all about that. So welcome, Savy. Thank you for joining us today.
No, aloha. Thank you. Mahalo so much for having me on. It's truly my honor. So thanks for letting me come on the show.
Yeah, thank you. So, Savy, tell us all about yourself and how you got started with Gimme A Break.
Oh boy, I know this isn't a long show, and we would need like a marathon show to do that.
Yeah.
But let me give you the Reader's Digest version. Basically, caregiver myself, and so just having to be a caregiver most of my life, but then more recently for both my parents. And now my mother is in her final stage of dementia. So she's in foster care with 24-hour nursing and basically doesn't even really know she's here, but I do. And so it's been a long journey. And I came off that journey, and it was very difficult, very hard for me as a caregiver. No one tells you what you're in for. You go from calm to chaos in a heartbeat, right? And your life was what it was before. And then all of a sudden, your caregiving life just changes everything, takes everything away from you. And but when my mother was first placed into foster care, I really went into a depression. I felt guilt for having to place her. I promised her I'd never do that. And I went into all kinds of emotions. I was exhausted. I had gained weight. I hadn't washed my hair in a year. It was just horrible. And so I went into basically 9 months of depression and even at points feeling suicidal. And so when I came out of that depression, I had the epiphany to start Gimme A Break. And so I tell people I basically went into 9 months of depression and gave birth to a mission. And it's a true passion mission in that I said to myself, no caregiver should ever have to go through this, ever. Something has to be done. And so, of course, I decided to do something. And so started a nonprofit organization that cares for caregivers. And so we offer support. Gimme A Break is the name of it because that's what we all need. We need a break. And so we provide breaks in providing community. We have support sessions weekly. Now we have 2 a week, and we do a lot of different education, presentations, webinars, and events for caregivers. And of course, we provide connection to resources, which is how you and I met. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. I know I'm getting all teary-eyed thinking about how we met because I, was taking care of my parents as well. And it, like you said, it's very stressful. And you went through all of that, and I can relate to that. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there as well. So thank you so much for creating this amazing, organization for everyone to, go to for resources. Share a testimony of any of your caregivers that you can think of, and, how did they share their story, or how it affected them?
Well, gosh, we have quite a few.
Yes, I know.
And the whole thing is that, we all have to walk this journey, right? Well, one of the things about caregiving is, and I tell people, it's people, pets, and plants, right? So we're all caregivers in some right. I mean, even if you're the boss of a company or a manager, you still care about your people. So you care about other people, you're still a caregiver. And I think we forget that so many of us are caregivers. And so when we think about that story and what that is, it could be anyone's story, really, right? And I want to just throw this out there too, that there's a statistic that is really important that I mentioned, but 50% of caregivers will not survive that journey. Ooh. So 50% of caregivers will pass before the one they're caring for. And because your care for kupuna, I'm going to throw the secondary part of that out, which is that 70% of those who are 70 and older will not survive the one they are caring.
Wow.
Yeah, let's take a breath. And also for you getting emotional, Leilani, I feel the same way too, because I lost my father. And a year and a half into caring for both my parents, I lost my father to caregiver burnout. So he was part of that statistic. And I wish I'd have known about the statistic because maybe, right? You can't change the way things happen. And universally, that's what's meant to be. But maybe things could have been different if I knew. And so that's why we work so hard at Gimme A Break to get the word out. And why I appreciate what you're doing is to get the word out. Let people know, you're at risk. You're at high risk. We need to do something. We need to learn self-care. We need to practice wellness. And so many caregivers that we've had come through our organization and are still, even in our session, tell their story and share their story. In fact, every year in November, we celebrate National Caregiver Month by sharing those stories on our social media and having a contest. We actually have our Caregiver of the Year contest. And this past year, the Caregiver of the Year who won that contest has been one of our volunteers for almost 3 years. And she was entered by her sister into the contest she didn't even know. And she's cared for her husband who, because of diabetes had gotten so bad and had to have his leg amputated. And so she was a caregiver for somebody who was not just struggling with a physical ailment, but also now had to no longer could walk. And so her story is one that we tell all the time, and it strained their relationship and their marriage as well. And a lot of people don't always think about that in caregiving. They think that caregivers just get depressed and we get tired. And, yes, that's understandable, but it also puts a strain on a relationship. And their marriage was the threads of their marriage were just pulling at each other. And I don't say ropes of marriage, I say threads. They were just to that point. And she credits Gimme A Break and coming to the sessions and connecting with community of caregivers and other caregivers and being able to be part of what we do, involving him in the mission, and that he became a volunteer with us as well. They're together and so happy today, and their marriage is intact. And of course, they're very spiritual and godly people. And so, combining that's that 3-strand cord was their marriage, their spirituality, and then Give Me a Break. And it made them survive to this day. So we're very honored to, I'm very honored to tell that story and to have been part.
Well, we definitely can see where you have the passion and the inspiration come from for this business and this organization you started. How long have you had Give Me a Break?
Well, Give Me a Break started just before, and I say just before the pandemic. We literally got our nonprofit status about a day before they announced the pandemic and shut everything down.
Wow. Wow.
And so
what a perfect timing though, right?
It actually was, because we then realized that caregivers can't be contacted all the time. So we did everything online. Our very first Caregiver of the Year contest was all online. And even our gala was online. And we celebrated caregivers all year and connected with caregivers that otherwise we would not have known or been able to. So it was a wonderful first year for us. Yeah.
Oh, right on. That is so awesome. And so how can someone get involved with Give Me a Break? Give us all your details.
Okay. So there's so much. Oh, how much more time do we have? Okay. So there's so much you could do, right? And the thing is, first and foremost, caregivers, if you need anything, you need support, you just need community, you need a resource, go to our website, gab808.org. It's GAB, give me a break, right? 808.org. Just go to our website. And there's so much there. So you can fill out a form to connect with us and get us your information, and we'll contact you right away. And you can just join our community that way. And we will definitely assist you in any way we can. Come on to our online support sessions. And again, we've been doing online sessions since 2020, every Tuesday evening. I've been doing this every Tuesday evening for the past 4 years. So now we have a 2:00 and an 8:00 on Tuesday session, and you can join into either one. And you just join a community of caregivers just like you. I call it a caregiver safe space, right? This is a place where it's okay for you to be vulnerable. It's okay for you to be right or wrong or frustrated or happy or whatever. It's where we cry and laugh together. And so there's that. And so for caregivers, we have everything you could possibly need or want, and it's all on our website. In fact, I have this month, April and May, we do our outreach webinars, and we have one coming up this Saturday. So we're starting a series on the wellness wheel because we're all about your wellness and self-care. So you can sign up for that and get the links by registering for this coming Saturday's presentation, as well as all the ones coming up. And I have experts coming on for all of these, and you can get so much information. Education, what you don't know, you don't know. Mm-hmm. And what you do know will save you. So caregivers get educated, and we provide it all free of charge. So of course you can support us as well by donating. We don't have any grants, or we have very few sponsors. And so this was all generated through my savings in the beginning. And so all the donations that we get now from all of you is what helps us to continue doing what we do. We also have our Givers Guides magazine, which is an online magazine written for caregivers by caregivers. And in our April issue, you'll see a wonderful ad for Care for Kupuna. And so there's great resources in it. And information about that is on our website as well. So
thank you so much, Savy. Yeah, no, this is great information. And thank you for sharing that with us. And we'll also have your links on our newsletter, our post on Facebook and Instagram. And we're so blessed to have you here. We'd like to end our session with a quote, joke, or pun of the day. So today's quote is, "Wrinkles should merely indicate where smiles have been," Mark Twain. So keep on smiling.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Savy. And where aloha meets wisdom, one podcast at a time. Until we meet again, ahoy ho.
Mahalo.
Mahalo for joining us on this episode of Care for Kupuna, where we explore health, wellness, and vibrant living for our cherished kupunas. We hope you found inspiration and valuable insights.
Remember, your support can make a difference. 20% of all proceeds from our podcasts go to a nonprofit organization here in Hawaii dedicated to helping seniors in our community. If you'd like to contribute, visit our website at www.carewithak4kupuna.com and make a donation.
Are you a brand or business looking to align with our mission? Consider sponsoring our podcast. Visit our website for more information on sponsorship opportunities.
For those with stories to share, we invite you to be a guest speaker on our podcast. Head over to our website to express your interest and become part of the conversation.
Last but not least, stay connected with us by subscribing to our email list and following us on social media at Care for Kupuna with a K. Join the Care for Kupuna community to stay updated on all things related to health, culture, and creating vibrant communities for our elders.
We appreciate your time and look forward to welcoming you back on the next episode of Care for Kupuna.